Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Di and I'd like to introduce you to my wonderful inspiration. My husband bought me Hamish for Easter, an early Easter present, because I think he's in the theatre. He's wearing purple slippers and he's bedecked in beautiful silver. And I think he's a lord. He's not afraid of pretty feminine colours. He's just gorgeous. I don't know why I've called him Hamish, and he's so inspirational. And yeah, I don't have a real dog or a real cat, so this is Hamish. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? Okay, so let me introduce you to my very first tab book that I've put up for sale. I'm calling her The Lady at the Rose Cottage, and I think she's really gorgeous. Just got a tie of calico, and that is an old marquisite earring that you get for free. Just because it looks gorgeous. I'll just slip that off like that. So she's a tag journal, and that's her side view. She measures 6 by 7, and that's the first time I've done a tag journal. I just started out as an inspiration from Susie, and I thought, oh, maybe even I could do that. It's not perfect, but I'm okay with that. It opens out flat. It's a great idea. I've just got 2 board pieces of old book cover. And she measures 6 by 7, if I didn't say that before. Most of the papers in here are ruby and pearl, but there is a mix, and I've made a pocket on the front, and I found this in an antique store, and so I just love that there, and I've just stitched that on loosely. This is a little writing board, so that I've just popped that in the front there if you wanted something to rest on, and a journaling card, and that's the inspiration of the lady at Rose Cottage, and there she is smelling her rose. Ruby and pearl digital there, absolutely gorgeous. So with a tag book, I mean, it's so great because it opens out flat. And somebody put up on one of the posts this morning on one of the Facebook groups and said, I'm a newbie and I want to do something that opens out flat, and so I thought, well, this is perfect. Right, so we've got a pretty pocket here. That's from Cherished Horse Graphics, the Bee Kit Journal add-on. It's divine. I only downloaded it yesterday. This is just a little envelope flip, probably something from Shabby Dabby Doodah, I'm guessing. That I've just copied. It just folds out, and you've got some nice digitals there, Paris postcards, and a nice lady there. I forget now where that she came from, but that is so sweet. And that's the telegram. If you go into Ruby and Pearlxo and have a look, you'll see there's telegrams that are just gorgeous. It's a lovely kit. Right, so I think this is an old lace collar, and I've just glued it around the sides so that it makes a gorgeous little pocket, and a pretty journal card with roses, and a sweet little homemade paper bag with a little piece of pearl embossing in there that you can do something with, and it just sits in there. Right, so how this all came about was I thought to myself, right, I am going to utilize all my really old, I bought these old ancient law books that are over 100 years old, and of course I live in Grafton, New South Wales, Australia. We're in the middle of I think this is our 2nd or 3rd flood warning. It's done nothing but rain with this El Nino weather. And so I've got a big dehumidifier in my space, because what does paper do? It absorbs moisture. So that keeps everything nice and dry. But these old law books and everything, they're pretty old, they're pretty fragile, so I thought, right, I'm going to start utilising things. And I went through my stash and I got all my ugly old scrapbook papers, and I covered them with the old antique papers, which made them very thick. And of course, when it came to think about how I was going to put them in a journal, 3-hole pamphlet stitch was not an option. And then I came across the idea of the tag book. So that's how it was born, because they're very, very sturdy. Very, very sturdy, and you can see there the layering of all the different pages. I've done a lot of my homemade texture paste. I've got a new stencil, Tim Holtz Roses. So the roses are aplenty, and stitching around on the machine. This is from the dressmaker kit from Ruby and Pearl. I just love it. And of course, I mean, look at that. I mean, this was an old pudding cloth. I bought my husband a little pudding for Christmas, made in Newcastle, and the piece of cloth was so heavy duty calico. I thought, oh, I'm going to wash it and iron it and keep that, and it just was the exact size to make all the tabs I needed, which was just brilliant. It was so much fun to do. And so this actually is a printable on top of the old papers, so that you can write on that. You could gesso and write on it. There's a couple of floating envelope pockets here, which is stuffed full, and you can see there behind that the law ancient papers, and I've used really other old book pages that I had that were white. Maybe they were the first, couple of pages into a novel, but the texture's gorgeous and how lovely to write on. So that just hangs there. I've used some old sticky tape there, real old sticky tape, and glued that on. That just is lovely. Bit of lace up in the corner. And this was a freebie from G Kerr, I want to say. I think it's G, on a Friday freebie. It's gorgeous daisy paper. And, oh, now where were they from? I can't remember. If I find out, I'll put it in the description below. But they're just beautiful. I mean, coming up to Mother's Day, what a lovely gift. What a lovely gift. A lady in her garden, the perennial flower bed. I mean, it's just so, it's just, because of with the old papers, it really does give a feel, and yeah, it just gives a gorgeous feel and authenticity to this book, as though it was a scrapbook done by someone in the 30s. That is another one from the bee kit from Cherry Shores Graphics. That's the best bee cat I've ever seen. Truly, it's absolutely amazing. I just bought the add-on kit. I didn't get the journal kit yet, but I'm sure I've got a bee journal in my future. And this is a really old antique piece of linen, and it makes a lovely fabric flip and suits the colouring of the papers and the book. A little pocket there with a little embossed tag. Really old antique music paper. Some really tall, sweet little tags. And isn't that, what an image. That comes from a book I own of all the cottages and old paintings, and that's absolutely gorgeous. I love the broom. That's my mode of transport right there. The little journal card. But yeah, a little bit of embossed paper there as a tuck. Just a couple of journal cards to go in there. Another free floating pocket, these are a great idea. You can just hinge it over the page, and whoever buys this, a little bit of collaging and a little bit of texture paste, would be able to take that out and use it in somewhere else, or give it gift it on if they didn't want to, or a little bit of washi tape from the washi tape shop down there. That's wallpaper samples from Ruby and Pearl. And isn't that magnificent? Oh, you can never get sick of roses. I can't anyway. And there's just a blank page. You can tell that that's really, really old. The feel of it is gorgeous. And because it was New South Wales Parliament law books, that must be the New South Wales emblem, and it's just gorgeous. I just cut that out. We've got a little tuck in here. It's an envelope, but actually it's a secret. There's another little tuck just in here, which you could actually hide something in if you wished. Just tuck it away there, nobody would even know it was there. And this is an envelope and a journal card with a pocket on. Isn't she adorable? Right, so I mean, you can still see, look how flat this is. This is so nice. It's something that I will be doing again. I really do like it. And the texture paste, I do a homemade texture paste, and I sand it back. It smells like baby powder. It's really yummy. And I did purchase the other day some Tim Holtz Distress Texture Paste in the matte, and it is lovely too. It is very, very thin. It's more like a nice thin icing. So it is lovely, but you definitely can make your own, and I love the smell of the baby powder. So these are just some envelopes that I've stitched together and then popped them in with the tab binding, two on top of each other. It doesn't look very secure, but it is. Just wibbling around, wibbly wobbly a bit there. That's the technical term. Okay, so this is an envelope, and I've made a little pocket in the bottom and a nice little journaling card in there, and just a nice piece of embossed paper backed with a nice picture, and that holds that closed, and a bit of nice calico down the side. Avocado dyed paper there to journal on. Okay, so what I might do is I might just prop this side up a little bit. There we go. A lady in her cottage garden, and you can see the old tiles on the roof. It's absolutely gorgeous. Right, so we've got very simple, that's some old scrapbook paper, and I've just texture pasted onto that, and I've gessoed on the back of it from an old, so that you can actually write on it. So there's lots of tricks, isn't there, that you can use to have writing spaces. I've just tried to use up everything I have, because I only have a small studio. Well, I think it's pretty big, but it compared to some, it is small, and I like to use what I've got. And then you can go shopping for more. My husband's not home. If he heard that, he'd be like, oh, you can go. So that's the back of that other picture, which is lovely. I think that's a printable from the Antique Ledgers of Ruby and Pearl. And some more texture paste. It feels so lovely. Yeah, and you can still smell. And a bit of gesso on the back so that can be used to jot down things. And this is another envelope, which I just utilize all my old envelopes I get through the mail and cover them. And I mean, how simple is that? It's just like a lovely little hanging pocket. And another journaling card in there. It just pops over the top, and you can move that around where you like. There's another one. I've just hung it over the page with journaling cards, a little bit of texture paste. And that was out of an old book, and I left that because isn't that lovely? It was dedicated to the Royal Air Force. I think it was a novel. Right, so more every place is you can write on everything, and there's room to stick in whatever you'd like. Writing paper, an antique button. You can tell how thick and sturdy each page is. But there's so much room for writing and journaling and popping in loose leaf papers. Just divine. It's a great idea. And that's the back page, which I haven't put a pocket on or anything. That's the back cover, which I've left unadorned because that's just so gorgeous. Right, so there you have her, the lady in the Rose Cottage. She's 27 pages, which makes about 54 pages of writing spots. She's got 34 pockets, 27 tags, 20 journal cards, 1 fabric flip, 1 writing board. There's stitching, washi tape, texture paste, calico, jewellery, doilies and lace. I don't think I could have crammed any more into her. And yeah, she's just absolutely gorgeous, and I will be listing her later on today in my Etsy store, which is 18 Mundy Street Journals, and the links will be below. Thank you so much for your time, and I think we might do something like this together. I think I need to turn the camera on more. Hello to all my subscribers. If you haven't seen me before, please subscribe. I'd love to have you on board. We're still going to have a great big giveaway when I get to 500 subbies, which is getting closer and closer. So I hope you're all safe and well and dry. I wish I was dry. I don't know when the weather's going to clear, but anyway, it doesn't bother me. I'm creating beautiful things in my nice dry studio. Thank you, everybody. See you later, and yeah, I'll catch you. Bye.